just going to say up front, this is not my first foray into Bob Marley's music. I've, when I was like a little stoner kid, I was into Sublime and Bob Marley and stuff like that when I was in high school, probably like freshman year. So I've heard a couple of his hits. I really enjoyed them, but they weren't like something that I like really dug into. So I'm interested in hearing more from them. Bob Marley and the Wailers, that is, and then of course Bob Marley himself. So let's go. Hi guys, welcome to Lee Reacts. Hope everyone's having a good day. I know I am. We are back with Bob Marley and the Wailers, courtesy of our patron Aaron. Thank you as always, Aaron. You rock, my friend. Your support is much appreciated. We're doing Burnin and Lootin. Sounds like my old days. But Aaron left a comment with this request, you know, saying I think Bob Marley and these guys, they grew up in the trenches, and that's a word that I absolutely know. I also grew up in the trenches, but also not in the trenches. So I had a good taste of both worlds, of like the mind world and like the physical world, because that's sort of like what it was for me. Like I went to private school for 10 years, then I got kicked out, and then I went to like regular school, you know, public school for 4 years in like a very, very rough area. There's a reason why I went to private school for 10 years, and it was definitely a culture shock, I'm not gonna lie, you know. So I kind of can feel already, you know, if that's where Bob Marley and the Wailers are from, I can totally dig it, bro. It's not an easy life, and we're gonna be doing Burnin and Lootin. Let's go. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, check out our Patreon, PayPal, all that good jazz. It really helps. And if you want to just leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, like I already said, it helps the engagement, boosts the views, you know what I mean? More people see the video. Pretty simple, you know what I mean? They're backwards. All right, here we go. Bob Marley and the Wailers. Burnin and Lootin. 3, 2, 1. Go. He said, pay attention to the lyrics. All right. They are totally masters of just like getting you like so wrapped up in the song you don't want it to end. Even though it's, fairly simple in like the progression of the song, but I bet that was like I don't know. I can't say if that was revolutionary for 73, but as someone who's heard a decent amount from the 70s, that's very unique. If anything, like it's so random that I think of Santana in a way, but like not the guitar. It's like the vibe that Santana's percussion kind of goes for at points, that when they're not going super crazy. That's like the only real comparison, even though like the music isn't like really similar, This is like the flip side of Santana, where it's like ambiance and the vibe of the song, even though like the lyrics, they strike deep for somebody that's actually lived in, the bad areas, the ghettos and stuff like that. The funniest thing is, like, for a while there, especially when I was like a drug addict, like I was very enraptured, like I was with the song, with the city and the ghetto. Like I was raised on a farm, you know what I mean? But the farm was very, very close to the ghetto, if that makes sense. We were in like a little Garden of Eden compared to the rest of the area. So like I got bits and pieces of it as a kid, and then as like a teenager, I got thrown into the depths basically of all that, and it's hard to get out of there. But like everyone's just people, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's all that area is. It's just people, low income, and the culture gets built around burning and looting, for especially like a lot of young men that like they don't have a way. They feel like they don't have a purpose. They feel like they're just sort of like here just to fill up space, you know what I mean? And a lot of that pent up aggression and anger that, guys get, that's just what happens, they're going to take it out on the environment around them. They're going to try and get what they need to survive from the environment around them, because that's just what they know. That's what they do. That's what I did. You know what I mean? But I had ulterior motives. I was just looking for drug money, to be honest. But, it's a fucked up situation that we even have ghettos. You know what I mean? I think at least if we have enough money in the world, if we stopped bombing each other for no reason, or like fractional banking and stuff like that, we could have enough money to like actually support our population. Which they have all that, but they'd rather spend like $3 trillion. This is just America. They spend like $3 trillion on the military. They only use it every like 20 years. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather have it than not, I guess, but. There's so many like black site projects and like special ops and like operators they pay and stuff like that. Like, it's a lot of fucking money, but it's also our main business. They're trying to make it AI, but like for the most part, like our main business is arms sales. It's sad to say that we're like the gun dealer basically, and we don't care. Like Ronald Reagan sold missiles to Iran. Like, come on, bro. Like, they talk about Jimmy Carter. Yeah, Jimmy Carter was Jimmy Carter, but so was Ronald Reagan. You know what I mean? Like, I've been really getting into Dune lately, and like the whole putting your faith in somebody, as a messiah or like a figurehead or a politician that's like a. If you ever put your agency in the hands of somebody else to save you, more than likely they're going to take advantage of you, because that's just what power does. Power just makes you corrupt. And power is what kind of creates ghettos, because, there's people at the top that, maybe don't think very highly of certain groups of people. And they're just like, let's throw them over there. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? They'll be fine. But then things start happening. And then, it's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, I see both sides of it. You know what I mean? Because I've been on both sides. I've been wealthy and I've been dirt ass poor, sort of like I am now. You know what I mean? it's a more humbling experience now because I'm not hooked on drugs. I'm not fucking doing dope and stuff. So like, I just kind of have to deal with, being the way I am. So it's interesting. Like I haven't touched this stuff in years, and then like I'll get like a random flash here or there, just like oh yeah, that'd be nice right now. And then like as they say in NA, you play the tape. And then all the bad stuff, it's like, all right, it's not worth it, Obviously, I would never do anything like that anyway. I got kids and stuff now, so that's way out of my foray, if that's the right word for it. But, like, going back to, like, the ghettos, and they shouldn't even exist. We should have at least middle-class people. There shouldn't be lower class. It's fine to have high class. There's nothing wrong with that, Like, Never mind, I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole right now. It's fine being rich, but it's the people that accumulate so much wealth that they're basically taking it away from people that could actually use it, and it's money that they'll never spend in their lifetime probably because it's so much. Same thing with their kids won't spend it all, their grandkids won't spend it all, you know. And it's like that, what do they call it, generational wealth, you know. And it's sad that, like, the fuck, this is what it boils down to. It's sad that, like, our entire existence just revolves around money and the pursuit of money, which money just equals things, possessions, you know what I mean? But we take it so seriously. In certain cultures, they worship it. They worship money. They worship greed. They worship working stupid long hours to make money, to go on one vacation a year that you're not even going to enjoy, just to come back to your fucking menial ass job that doesn't mean anything. You know, like, it's such a sad existence that they forced us into. It's like an existence that's full of accessibility and comfort, but at the cost of ourselves, you know. Like, I catch myself sometimes and I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, I'll be staring at my phone or, like, looking at my computer, and I'll just sort of snap out of it for a second, and I'm like, the fuck am I even doing? What am I watching? You know what I mean? We just sit there and just scroll or do this and do that. That's what everyone does, and it's just like, the world's going to a hell in a handbasket. Is that the right phrase? And where everyone's just staring at their phones and watching videos of it happen, living vicariously through people getting bombed right now. And it's just like, coming to a city near you, more than likely. All right, I got to get out of here, bro. I fucking talk too much. They're going to take me out, bro. That was excellent. Thank you, Aaron. Like, it gives you a lot to chew on. You know, as they say, you know, the drugs make you slow, and that's what they do. Is in the ghettos, especially back in the day, they probably still do it. They push a lot of, you know, they pushed crack and stuff back in the late 80s and 90s. Then it was fentanyl and heroin in the 2010s, and nowadays, and it'll be something else in 10 years. You know, like, there's always something that people want to buy that gets them fucked up. You know, it's how people are. People want to escape, because our reality sucks, you know what I mean? And as they say, I've been raw dogging it for almost, 5-6 years now, and it's a weird. Life is so weird, bro. There's so much weird shit that happens, and you don't notice it when you're fucked up. You just sort of like go with the flow. You don't think about it. But I've got stuff that happens to me like during the day, during the night, whatever, and it's just like, what the fuck was that? What just happened? You know what I mean? What did I just see? And like, life is so much more interesting when you're, somewhat clear-minded. I'm not going to say I'm fully clear-minded because, I'm pretty sure everyone's not nowadays, but as clear-minded as I can be. And you see the world for what it is. And a lot of changes need to be made at the bare minimum. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. Things don't get better unless you do something about it. If you just let a wound fester, it's going to get rotten. It's going to get infected, and that's what we're dealing with right now. We haven't taken our antibiotics. We haven't cleaned house yet. Cleaned the wound, as you could say. That fits better, I guess. And we're just sort of dealing with it and just like living our lives with like a fucked up arm or something, and we're just going about our day. But eventually it's going to be both arms, it'll be both legs, and then eventually we're going to be like, oh, there's a problem. Yeah, we told you that 20 years ago, you fucked hard. You know what I mean? That's what happens, man. That's what happens. The world we live in. Sorry for going on tangents. I started at ghettos, and I get to like fractional reserve currencies and banking. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me, bro? So thanks for watching as always, guys. I didn't mean to go on a fucking, I don't know. Those lyrics got to me. I'm not gonna lie, but that's okay. So thank you, Aaron. Great pick. If you want to support the channel, check out our Patreon, PayPal. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, engage with the video, like a comment, do something. Just make sure you leave your presence known on the channel, and it really helps. I promise. Just leave your mark. Leave your thumbprint right there. Be like, hey, Lee, good job. I love you, bro. And so it's appreciated. Have a good one. Oh, yeah, and if you have any other, like I said, Bob Marley stuff, I would love to hear it. I know this is technically called, like, the Wailers. So then they added the Bob Marley pretext or whatever it's called. I'm guessing later. But I think it was called the Wailers, and the album is called Burnin. It's from 1973, and I would love to hear more. Especially if it's, like, as thought-provoking and chill as that song was. I'm totally down. See you later.